Hey, what's up, family? I'm Rachel.
And Joe.
And we are two crazy ketos.
Welcome back to the channel. I'm so excited.
I am so excited. We're going on a cruise.
So we are getting up early in the morning and we are going to be driving over to Port Canaveral to go on the brand new Royal Caribbean Star of the Seas.
We're going to be stars.
I'm excited about this. This is a brand new Icon class ship. It's only been like sailing for about a month. And so we're going to be heading over there. And in today's video, we're going to do a complete walkthrough of the cruise ship. Like show you some of the features. Probably not everything, but a lot of the main features.
It's supposed to be big, Joe.
It's a huge ship. And we're also going to show you how we plan on staying keto on Star of the Seas. We are getting ready to board Royal Caribbean's Star of the Seas.
As we were coming with it, like, you know, on the road, this thing has its own, like, solar system. This is the hugest ship.
It makes, like, all the other ships in port look like dinghies.
Seriously.
So we're at Port Canaveral. It is 10:18, and we're already getting ready to walk on the gangway. So we're on board. We already went and did our muster station.
Yep.
It's only 10:36. And we already went over to guest services and got our WOW bands all set up. If you don't have the WOW bands, they're cool. So they don't work on all the ships, but they work on the Quantum classes. They work on the newer Oasis classes. And then also, obviously, on the Icon classes. And it's just so cool because you don't have to worry about your SeaPass card.
Very nice.
You just go to the pool. If you want to go to the bar, you just tap your band and you don't have to take out your card and all that kind of stuff. So I think you pay like $10 for it, but then you can reuse it on cruise.
You can transfer it to each cruise.
First impressions, I mean, we literally are still right here. And I feel like we're going to get lost already.
I think that this is not going to be a long enough cruise because just judging by like just the Pearl itself, I'm thinking, wow, this is big. This is big.
So I really like this. You see this all up and down the main promenade here so that you're not lost. So we're going to the aft because we're going to the Windjammer. I don't think Rachel's going to go to the main dining room today.
I do not see there being a situation that I even have any room for dinner tonight because there is so much seafood on this like embarkation day that it is nuts. There is just crab and there's clams and there's shrimp and there's lobster served multiple ways. Like, I'm about to get my seafood on.
There is so many different selections in the Windjammer on embarkation day. You don't know where to start. Like, I'm with Rachel. Like, I just can't see us even bothering with main dining room tonight because there's so many things here that I have not seen on any of the other Royal Caribbean ships. I mean, we've been on Utopia, and Utopia had some seafood like lobster tail on embarkation day, but nothing like this. They have lobster like 3 different ways. They have crab claws. They have calamari, and not fried calamari, just like calamari. They have mussels, oysters, clams, you name it, they have it up there. They also have a lot of ceviche. So here's where I'm gonna start. So I've got, I believe this was the tuna tartare. They also have a salmon one. I've got some shrimp. This was some type of a pickle thing. This is a butter chicken. I've got some steak and mushroom, a couple of beets because it's a treat for me. Some pickled vegetables. That's a piece of roasted pumpkin and a piece of chicken.
What?
I'm speechless, and y'all know I am rarely speechless, but look at this. I have lobster tails. I have crab legs. I mean, I did get some roast beef that they had, but like there's snapper, there's salmon, there's tuna tartare, there's all the things. Like, I'm so happy right now. So as soon as we got our bellies full of lobster, we headed to the next cruise because Joe wants to go on Legend of the Seas next. This ship is not filled yet. And because we did it on embarkation day, we got a free bottle of sparkling wine. So super excited, very, very fancy. Now, if you need a cruise, whether it's a couple's cruise, a family cruise, any cruise, make sure you reach out to Joe because he is a travel agent and you know he's going to work the hardest at getting you the very best deal. Well, it is exactly 1 o'clock and our stateroom is ready. Not only is our stateroom ready, but our larger bag is actually already outside the door. So super excited. I will say coming down the hallway, it definitely has a new car smell to this ship. Brand new. Let's take a look at our room. Come on inside. Wow, I am loving the full length mirror. This is beautiful. Ooh, wait till you come all the way in. So something that I absolutely love is the fact that already in the area where you're going to put your clothes, I see that they have cubby bins, which is absolutely brilliant. This is definitely something new, and I actually think it's super smart because I just want to throw all of my bathing suits, like socks, that sort of stuff, right down in there, and just having more of a catch-all system is better because usually what I do is put them on the shelves and they fall off anyway.
That is a big closet.
This is a very large closet, but
Ooh.
wait, there's more. This is a lot of space, especially if you are somebody that's going to be bringing like a long dress. That's really nice.
So this is cabin 14570. And I'm going to tell you right off the bat, this was not our ideal cabin. First of all, as a travel agent, I generally never recommend getting a cabin directly below the pool deck because they move all the chairs around at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And so sometimes it can be noisier. But originally, we were actually booked on one of the very aft of the ship balconies. And, you know, it's one of the ones that oversees the, you know, the wake. And we were really, really excited about that. That was also going to be on deck 14. But what happened was somewhere along the line, we did a price match. And in doing the price match, somehow somebody like accidentally changed our room and it became a guarantee. And so when I noticed what happened was the system just did it. It wasn't supposed to do it. It's not like I made a mistake or a person I called made a mistake. The system just did it by accident. And then when we noticed it, our cabin was gone. And so this is the cabin we were able to get. But we're okay with that because we're on Star of the Seas. At least we got on, you know, I don't like guarantees. I don't like not knowing what cabin we were in. So we ended up taking this cabin because we do like being higher up. So we like to be usually more towards the mid to rear ship. I want to be near the rear elevators, whereas this one is near the front elevators. But I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I do love the way it's all laid out. One thing I'm immediately noticing that is on here that isn't on any of the other ships, even some of the newer ships, like, you know, when you get onto Utopia of the Seas, is the amount of ports. I mean, take a look at over here, right here next to the bed. You have a USB port over here. There's also one over on the other side. Usually there's no USB ports next to your bed, and we're fighting over who gets to plug in up on the front, and that's why I always bring a power brick. So we have them there, but then when we come back over here, you have outlets here. So you have your outlets over here. You have more USB ports here, and then you also have a place for putting an adapter. So plenty of ports here on the ship where I don't think you're even going to have to bring any kind of a European adapter or anything like that. Then down here, look at this. There is plenty of storage. You've got 3 drawers here, another drawer over here, another drawer over here, as Rachel's purse thing is here. And then I'm assuming down here is our little mini fridge down here. Now this, it'll keep it chilled, not ice cold. It's not like a household refrigerator. Over here we have our little couch, which I think pulls out, but we won't be utilizing that. And then here is our balcony.
So as you can see, we are not overlooking the water just yet, but look at the size of this. Very, very pleased with this. I love the furniture. I love the lighting fixtures that they've selected. We even have a nice light outside. So this is really, really useful for day or night. Okay, let's take a look at the bathroom. Nice. All right. I will say it feels the same as far as space goes.
That shower is bigger.
That shower
We're used
is
to the
bigger.
little corner round shower. That is a big shower.
I love this. Oh, it has a seat. This is really nice. You've got plenty of room.
That's a 2-person shower.
You can shave
Move
your
over,
legs in
baby.
here. I love this because I feel like they're utilizing a similar amount of space, but they've really like refreshed it. It feels very modern and upgraded.
I definitely feel like that shower is bigger than the other ships that we've been on, and except for when we're in a suite, because you have about the same amount of space there, but usually the shower is just a little corner, and there it's the entire length, and you have your seat.
They've got towel hangers here, some nice cubbies back there, so you don't have every single thing right here in front of your sink. But I like how they have things for towel hangers, and look, they've got some more chargers right up there.
That's something that we don't normally see as an outlet in the bathroom, which means you can now do your hair in the bathroom instead of taking the one outlet that we generally have on the desk out there.
Look at this guy.
So I do have to say that when we stay in a hotel room, I always position myself closest to the door. A lot of times that puts me on the same side of the bed that I always sleep on. Here, it's going to be opposite because the door is right there. And usually I would sleep on that side. But again, I always position myself between Rachel and the door. It's just something that I always do. And I'm so glad that I actually have that habit because I'm looking over here. This side of the bed not only has a USB outlet, but it also has a regular household outlet over here too. The other one doesn't have that.
Before Joe gets too glib about his bedtime positioning, let me show you this cool feature, because I was like, where is the safe? Because we like to utilize the safe and just, put a lot of our belongings in there so we don't have to carry them around the ship all the time. But I love the fact that you've got some extra storage here. Really great place, just hiding it behind the mirror. So I'm really excited about this. This is the AquaDome Market, and it's another complimentary space that I want to say kind of looks like a mall shopping plaza, where you've got like the mall food court, and you're able to go to different kiosks with different flavors of food. So here you can see the 5 breakout restaurants that they have. They've got a great place, they have a Thai place, a barbecue, Mediterranean, and then they have like Costanita, which has got like the empanadas and Cuban sandwiches, that sort of thing. Then outside, there's still a local fresh for like Mexican, if you've ever been on a World Caribbean cruise that had a local fresh. So let's take a look inside. It reminds me a lot of like a Chipotle type style, where you pick one layer, whether it's like lettuce or rice, and then you pick your protein, and then you pick your topping.
Look at this one. This is going to be my jam. I love Greek food. We've got chicken, pork, falafel, and then we have all of our different toppings.
And then this one's going to be very popular too. You've got the arepas, and then you've got the empanadas that are over here, and then finally the Cuban sandwiches that are super popular. And for us, since we're keto, I'm just going to take all the guts out of that sandwich.
So here we have the AquaTheater, and what's different between the Icon class and the Oasis class is the AquaTheater is inside here. That's going to be really good for a couple of reasons. Number one, you don't have to worry about the wind as much. So if you've ever been on an Oasis ship with the AquaTheater, sometimes that wind actually prevents the show from happening, or they have to delay things. here inside, it's gonna make it a little bit better where they don't have to worry about the wind as much. I'm really excited about the show. I've seen some of the previews and some of the different little things. Make sure you're making reservations. You can do that about 30 to 45 days before ship sailing. Now, for us, when we were trying to make our reservations, we weren't able to do it in the app. It kept showing up in the app as it'll be here later, but we were able to go directly on the website and go through and pick all of our times. So make your reservations so that you don't miss out on the show. I think we're doing this on like day 5, but super excited about the AquaTheater show here on Star of the Seas.
So we're going to be walking into Chill Island, and you can see though a view downstairs of the Central Park area. Look at that neighborhood.
Absolutely beautiful. So this is deck 15. So we're gonna walk around and we're gonna go and hang out in the swim up bar.
I think one of the coolest things about this particular ship is just the sheer amount of seating and the diversity of the furniture. There is just a place for everybody here. I don't think we're gonna have that problem where if you wake up at like 10 or 11 in the morning, you're gonna miss having the opportunity to have a seat. There's loads of seats, lots of different shapes and sizes. There's also a lot of different pools and hot tubs. So I think that's really gonna help with overcrowding issues that sometimes you see on the smaller ships.
I love all the different types of seatings. You have regular lounge chairs. You have these other cushioned loungers that you can lay back on. You've got some chairs out in the water. There's a lot of different options for lounging out alongside the pool.
And you can see right to your right, there's just another hot tub. It seems like every single place you go to, there's another hot tub with people in it. So it's really nice that you can spread it out this way.
So over here in Chill Island, we're gonna find the local fresh bar where you can get some specialty drinks over here. And then as we come around, you're gonna have the El Loco Fresh food. So you can make your own burritos, quesadillas. So you've got some things that are already mixed up, like here's beef burritos, chicken burritos. They have different types of salads over here. You have some nacho bowls over here. And then you can also make your own. So you can see there's soft tortillas, cheese sauce, beef, Mexican beans, Mexican rice. You have more beef, chicken, and pulled pork. And then over here is gonna be your toppings bar. So you got guacamole, cheese, salsa, sour cream, limes, jalapenos, and onions. I don't know about all you, but I love Mexican. I'll just take all of that beef and chicken. I don't need the rice, I don't need the beans or anything like that. Pile it in a bowl, load it up with the toppings. What's your favorite topping when it comes to burrito bowls? For me, cheese, sour cream, and lots of jalapeno.
I am all about the guacamole, baby. Yes, I am extra, so guac it is.
Let us know down in the comment section. One thing I'm gonna say is, even right now, just being on the ship quickly, there are so many food options. And that's one of the reasons that we opted, for the first time in a long time, to not get the unlimited dining plan. We usually do the unlimited dining plan, but after looking at all of the free food options that are available here, we're like, why bother going to the same places that we always go to, like Chops and Azumi and, you know, Giovanni's? Let's try something different. The only thing we've done for this sailing is, because we do love sushi, we booked one night Azumi. We booked it ahead of time and we paid $24 a piece to go to Azumi. And we just get double orders of the sashimi platter.
We are going up the steps now to go take a look at Thrill Island.
So Thrill Island is where you're gonna find more pools, and then of course all of the different water slides, and there are a lot of them on here. Taking a look at one right over here. We'll definitely be going on that water slide. And again, you have more seating. You have different types of seating, like lounge chairs to look out. You have little like Adirondack chairs. You have these other pieces. I love this little thing, kind of like an homage to Key West, right? With a little buoy. We have here the end of one of the water slides. Little padded area over here where people can kind of sit and relax.
What's really nice is all over the ship they have a real balance of shaded areas and also sunny areas. So depending on what you like on a sunny day, you can find shade or full sun.
Up here, the steps, In the back of Thrill Island is where we're going to have our flow rider. And then we also get another good view as we look down back to the back area of Chill Island, and that's got the infinity pool that looks over the wake. Now you can see here in the back, you got a couple of other hot tubs over here. And again, this is up on deck 17, part of Thrill Island. Here is a really good view of some of the different water slides that you have. Look at that. Definitely going to be going up onto all of these water slides.
I'm very excited about the area behind me. This is the mini golf course, and I gotta say, just like everything on this particular ship, it's themed very well. So it's just beautiful, and I'm looking forward to completely slaying this game, schooling Joe on how to play mini golf.
Now over here we have base camp provisions. So they have things like warm pretzels, tater tots, hot dogs, chicken fingers, and smash burgers. Great for someone who wants to be a kid or kids themselves. So over here they have these little tables that you can sit at, and while you're sitting you can play soccer and see if you can destroy your spouse. You can maybe sit here and eat, have a drink, and then play soccer all at the same time. Maybe every time you score, you gotta take a drink.
Oh, dang it. Behind me, you have the rock climbing wall where you have 5 lanes where people can compete. There's actually competitions here later today where we can get up and ring the bell fastest.
So over here we have Crown's Edge, and basically you're gonna start off and you're gonna kind of walk across a plank and then just jump from platform to platform, and you're gonna go out all the way over the side of the ship and then back up and around to over here. Now, honestly, I was really looking forward to doing this, but I decided to wait until we got on the ship. There was never a sale online. We usually like to book all of this kind of stuff ahead of time online, but there was never a sale. And here's the thing, it's $35 and it only takes 60 seconds to complete the course. They tell you it's 30 minutes, but 30 minutes is, most of it is you getting suited up and they telling you how to do it. And for me, I just felt like $35 for a 60-second experience wasn't worth it. I mean, if you want to drink alcohol, that's a couple of drinks. I can get a lot more entertainment out of 2 alcoholic or even 3 alcoholic drinks over doing this in 60 seconds. Or you can go enjoy a nice lunch or even dinner if you get it on sale at Chops Grill. So as we're walking through Midship, you can get a really good view from deck 17 down to deck 16 with the pools, and there's going to be your big main pool over on that side. Over here is where we're going to have some live entertainment later on. And then again, just so many places as we come over here to the edge. Definitely looking forward to coming and sitting in this little pool that's just overlooking the side of the ship. And then we should also mention they do have casitas that you could rent out for the day. They're kind of expensive, and it's going to be cheaper on a port day than it is on a sea day.
Well, I have to be honest, with all of the different beautiful seatings and like sun coverages, there's really the sky's the limit. I don't see the need for those so much.
So over here behind me is the swim and tonic bar, and this is a pool that has a swim up bar. And I'm super excited about this. This is where you can kind of lounge in the pool. There's seats in the water, and they also have a bar where you can swim up and get a drink. And Royal Caribbean has recently changed their rules, and in order to hang out in this bar, you have to be 18 or older.
So as you can guess, we're in the Central Park neighborhood, and it's absolutely beautiful here. Live plants. You're not looking at plastic here. It's amazing that they tend this beautiful green space here, and it's just wonderful. In fact, we're heading over to the middle of this neighborhood. They're going to have a harpist playing.
I think it's so beautiful, and honestly, I think it looks even nicer than the ones on the Oasis ships. I thought Utopia looked nice, but this one is just gorgeous, and I love the coloring that is up on all of the, balconies that are here. Now, one thing I am noticing right away is that all the balconies here in Central Park are infinite balconies. I'm not a fan of that. So for us, I looked at the infinite balconies, and I like having that open space to kind of go out and sit down. So if you're curious, what is the difference? You have the traditional balcony like we have, where you have a door and you can go out and you can sit, you can close your door. It means the air conditioning is on. Or You can get an infinite balcony, which is basically your balcony is inside of your room and then the window drops down. The only problem with that is when the window drops down, your air conditioning shuts off. So you can't just sit there and be looking out the window because you have no air conditioning. And now your room is getting hotter. Then when you close it up, then the air conditioning will kick back on. The bonus is that your cabin itself is bigger. So if you're traveling with more than 2 people, you might want to consider the infinite balcony. But if it's just 2 of you, I think the regular balcony is perfect.
Now we are entering Surfside, which is this beautiful area for kids. So fun, such beautiful colors. There's a really cool carousel. There's actually a standalone Surfside eatery, which I think is very important for them to have because the kids are playing, they're having a great time, especially in the splash park that we'll show you in just a minute. And you don't want to stop them to go all the way back up to the Windjammer. This is such a nice space. I'm so glad that they have this extra buffet here in the kids area because it's really hard to get the kids out of the pool, get them dressed, and then take them into the Windjammer to get a meal. So it's really nice that there's a nice variety of both like kids' favorites and then also things for parents as well. We saw like steak and we saw ribs down there. And so it's really nice that there's a nice variety for the family to eat here.
You have Splash Away Bay, which is the water park just for the kids. And what's nice about this is it actually frees up the pools up top, so you have a lot less kids up in the pools up there. I have to say, I love this elevator system. We experienced it on Utopia of the Seas, but this ship has so many elevators at each end. I mean, we're at the back right now, and I'm looking at A through K. L. That is a lot of elevators.
So we came up to Windjammer to just see what they had for dinner, and I gotta tell you, I don't think we're going to main dining this week. There's just such a nice selection. They've got some incredible prime rib. They've got grilled lamb. They got a little bit of beetroot just to try it, and then they had some different kinds of cheeses, including goat cheese. So I mean, just a beautiful variety up there.
And lots of seafood still up there. Let's talk about Back to the Future.
Yes, let's. And I'm sorry, we're on vacation, so I have to lose my voice immediately.
Always, every cruise you lose your voice.
Every single cruise.
We're not even on like a 2KK cruise and you've lost your voice.
I don't know what it is.
Back to the Future was amazing. Like, it's worth the cruise alone just to go see Back to the Future.
It was amazing. I don't know how they did it.
Really good. The special effects were amazing, and I don't want to give things away.
No.
But like, especially the end. Like, the end was, oh my gosh. Now, it really does follow the story of the original Back to the Future movie. Now I actually want to go home and watch all of the Back to the Futures. But it was really good. The person who is playing Dr. Brown,
incredible.
He's like really, I mean, they're all very good.
What about George McFly?
George McFly, I mean, I don't know who the original actor is.
Crispin Glover.
I'm really bad with names, but you would think that he was actually up there on stage. I mean, this guy had the movements down, the way he talks, the way he's like an idiot. It was perfect. But the guy who played Doc Brown was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, he's got an incredible voice.
Yeah, he does.
And just his actions, I actually think he was even funnier than in the movie. I mean, just really, really good. I highly do not miss it. If you come on Star of the Seas, if there's one thing you're going to do, make sure you go to Back to the Future.
Watch it.
I did want to talk a little bit about this cabin because we're on deck 14, which is directly below the pool deck.
And you're nothing.
I always recommend people don't get the deck directly below the pool deck because they move the pool chairs around in the middle of the night, like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. And it can be noisy, and also you can hear all of the noise from the pool. This room is completely silent, and I will say, like, I would book this room again. We got this cabin because this was what was available after we lost our other cabin. But this one is actually directly below the AquaDome Marketplace. So you don't really have the pool above you.
No, but it should be super loud because people are there in the marketplace until like midnight.
Right. But it's very quiet. We've never heard a thing over our head when you open up the balcony door. Very, very quiet. It's also super convenient because it's literally get off the elevator and we're right there. We're directly right next to the AquaDome. Actually, right next to us is the spa, and go up one deck and you're at the AquaDome. And usually I like to sit to be at the rear of the ship, but this is nice because like you're close to the AquaTheater, you're close to like the Royal Theater, so it's just, but being right next to the elevator is super cool. We're gonna go get some coffee and then get ready to get off at Costa Maya. We have been on a lot of the Oasis class ships. Up until today, I think my favorite water show is Utopia of the Seas. I mean, they're all good.
Right.
That water show last night
had motorcycles in it
on Star of the Seas is the best. I'm not even going to say best water show. Like, I'm almost going to say it trumps Back to the Future. I mean, Back to the Future was good.
Whoa, Nelly.
But it was exciting. The dance routines, the stunts. I mean, it was amazing.
I won't say it's better than Back to the Future, but what it does is it stands up in its lane at that same level of excellence.
Yeah, listen, tonight we're going to the ice show. And so far, I'm going to tell you, Star of the Seas has the best entertainment I've ever seen on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
It is just like every show, it almost beats the next one, and it's almost kind of sad that we started
with the Broadway show
with Back to the Future. Like maybe Back to the Future should have been the last one, but we went by our reservations that we could get. But I was afraid that starting with Back to the Future, you were going to have a letdown for all the other ones.
Nope.
And so far there has not been a letdown. So today we are at
Roatan, Honduras.
Today we're just going to go explore the port, and then we're going to come back on, and hopefully we're going to enjoy an empty ship. I know we said it before, but I'm going to say it again. Not a fan of the hideaway pool.
Right.
It's out in full sun. There is zero shade, and the pool deck gets very hot.
Very hot.
Like, you cannot walk around on it barefoot. I feel like that if they're going to have that, they need to put like little spray misters or something to keep the ground wet, because it just burns your feet. Also, it gets very, very crowded. Like, we're in port right now in Roatan, and it's the first time you've even been able to get into the pool.
Yeah.
It is just so crowded all the time.
Now, if you are looking for a better option for an adults-only pool, I suggest the Swim and Tonic. You can swim up to the bar to get a drink if you'd like a drink, and there's lots of cover and shade. Can we talk about that ice show last night? It was absolutely incredible. The ice skaters were top shelf. The one thing that occurred to me was they are always a little bit limited by whatever the theme is. So when there's a theme like fairy tales, we've seen that theme before, it is just amazing. Last night, the theme is like the sun, and they have it over different like regions, and it was interesting, but the theme was not as compelling to me as like the fairy tale theme. So that aside, it was incredible, and they were able to do just feats of talent that I've never seen before.
So since this is a keto channel, I wanted to talk a little bit about some special ordering for food. People ask us all the time, how do you do keto on a cruise? Because they're worried that they're not going to find any food. And as we've shown in a lot of different videos, there are so many different keto options. If you go to main dining, you can get as many entrees as you want, so don't feel bad if you want like 4 steaks because you're not going to eat the sides or anything like that. You can get as many appetizers as you want. And so when it comes to that, it's very simple. Here on Star of the Seas, there are even more options because you have things like a local fresh. So you can go make big fajita bowls and just, not have the tortillas and stuff and load it up with sour cream and cheese. The food is really good. It's very fresh. Then, as we talked about, you have the AquaDome Marketplace. I think the best one there is the Greek. The barbecue is good, but the Greek food is just amazing. I've been having it almost every single day. But I wanted to talk specifically about Windjammer for breakfast, because this is where you could make some slip-ups. And I'm not talking about getting the pastries and the breads and things like that. I'm talking about the eggs. So a couple things to just be aware of. The scrambled eggs and stuff that you're going to find on the bar, they're mass prepared with like powdered and liquefied eggs. And so I would avoid those. Instead, get the fried eggs on the fried egg bar, or go to the omelet station, because at the omelet station you can get fresh omelets and they will use fresh eggs, and you can ask them to just make you scrambled eggs. You don't have to get an omelet, but they have a lot of different options. Like, so I have an omelet here made with fresh eggs. It's got peppers, I've got ham, I've got bacon, and I've got cheese in it. But if you want just a scrambled eggs, you can just go up to them and say, can you just make me some fresh scrambled eggs? A lot of times you're going to find the omelet bar near the gluten-free bar, which is great because then you know that there's not going to be a lot of things in there. The other thing I wanted to mention is that if you really are trying to avoid seed oils, even when you're on a cruise, I would skip the bacon. The bacon is not like fried on a big griddle top. It's mass fried in a seed oil in a big pot. So if you're trying to avoid seed oils, I would skip the bacon, maybe go to sausage or have some of the different lunch meats and things like that instead. One other thing I wanted to mention is that you can also, when you make your reservation, designate your reservation as gluten-free if that's something that you're interested in doing, to make sure that you're not getting like bread and things like that. So when you go to main dining, they'll do special food for you. And if you're in main dining, you can also speak with the head waiter the night before each day and go over the menu for the next day and special order food. This way it's all ready for you. So it's just some things to mention. And so if you have us book you a cruise, because remember, I am a travel agent, just shoot me an email at 2kktravel@gmail.com. We'd be happy to find you the perfect cruise for you, whether it be on Royal Caribbean or another cruise line. And we can also make sure all of your special dietary needs are documented in your reservation. Excuse me, miss, but you are keto. You're not supposed to be eating pizza.
Don't worry. I just take the toppings off.
So what are we doing?
We just finished the Price is Right game show, and it was awesome. It was a lot of fun. And we're actually going to go back on, I think it's day 7 at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They have another one. And it's like the audience gets to participate too, which I think is really fun.
And chance to win money.
Yeah.
And a car.
And so we're stopping off at Sorrento's to get our evening pizza. And then we're going to head over to the next game show, which is like a Name That Tune thing.
This is our pile so far. So if you're new to the channel, what we do is we make a pizza stack.
Yeah.
And so that's what we've had so far.
We're 6 high.
We just got back from the Love and Marriage game show.
So much fun.
We got to participate.
We did not just participate, Joe. We actually won.
We won. I can't believe we won. So
Yeah.
if you don't know what it is, they basically get 3 couples, the newest couple that is married, the oldest couple, and then somebody in the middle.
And we're in the middle.
The newest couple, they would have been married 6 days. There was somebody who was only married 24 hours,
Right.
but they didn't want to
participate.
And then there was a couple married 62 years, and then us in the middle at 17 years. And we only got 1 question wrong. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. What was the question that we got wrong? The question was, if he was to say, do you want to know what ugly is? Ugly is her this.
I said sleep pants.
And I said my morning hair.
Now, the funny thing is I was going to actually write down morning hair, but I didn't want to get yelled at after the game.
But I complain about it a lot, and I
actually like your morning hair.
Thank you. It's crazy though. I almost wrote the inside contents of my purse because my purse can get really trashy. But yeah, no. So I put morning hair, and he put pajama pants.
But we had a lot of fun. It was so much fun. I highly recommend going and watching the game or trying to participate.
Yeah.
Let's see what we won. So we got. Everybody got, or no, I think we got this, right?
Yes, the meal for two.
We got meal for two at Pier 7, which we have not been to
Never
Pier 7.
been before.
That's on this ship. It's not on any of the other ships. So we're going to try that. We also got a certificate for two of us to go do the Crown's Edge. And what's cool about this is I actually wanted to do the Crown's Edge, but it's $35. And it says, as we said earlier, the experience is like 60 seconds.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't want to spend $35 for 60 seconds. And then we also got like a little swag bag. It looks like there's a backpack, a towel, a
water bottle.
I don't know what this is. Maybe a hat. Funny thing about this, we actually have one of these. We won it on the other game show.
It was a lot more embarrassing though.
The one that's super racy.
Yes.
I think it's called The Perfect Couple.
I would really recommend everyone avoid.
Go to the game, but don't participate.
Don't volunteer for that one.
Especially if you don't want the video of the silly and stupid things you do to show up on Instagram or something. So we're going to enjoy the rest of our day. I don't know what, I think we're going to go to the pool.
Yeah.
And we're going to look into doing Pier 7.
So it is night 6 of the cruise, and we actually thought about going into main dining because we have yet to go into main dining. The Windjammer's just been so awesome, but we thought tonight's the night because it's lobster night. Well, guess what? It's lobster night in the Windjammer as well, and it's unlimited here. So yeah, we are not going to be going into main dining, yet again. We are going to be enjoying all the lobster that Rachel can eat.
So that actually makes it 3 separate meals where they have unlimited lobster in the Windjammer on Star of the Seas. So you had embarkation day where they had lobster 3 different ways along with stone crabs and a lot of other seafood. That was for lunch on embarkation day. Then on Tuesday night, which is lobster night, like, you know, fancy dress up night in main dining, they also had lobster on the main dining, on the Windjammer buffet. And then again tonight on night 6, they also have it. So you get more lobster coming up here to Windjammer. And it's been interesting that every night, whatever the meals are that are serving in main dining, they've had it here. The only thing that they have not had here in the Windjammer has been the French onion soup, and they haven't had the escargot. But other than that, whatever the main dishes are, all that stuff, it's all been available in the Windjammer each night. You did it.
I did it. I'm still shaking. We don't have any, hey, we're going to do the Crown's Edge thing because beforehand, because it was literally a moment decision.
She wasn't going to go. She's like, I'm not going. And I was like, I have closed-toed shoes. I pushed her into it, and then a bunch of other people were like, you can do this. And she's like, you need closed-toed shoes. She's like, I don't have any. He's like, you can wear his socks.
It was perfect it was the perfect crime for you guys all to get to.
Are you glad you did it?
I'm so glad that I got to do it. You could do it twice. Once was plenty for me.
The second time is better because you're not concentrating so much as walking, and you can enjoy the view.
I don't know if I would have liked it the second time as much, because I think I would have just been, I don't know, second guessing. The first time was like, I don't know what's happening, and I'm just going with the flow of it. But it was, I do not regret doing it. I thought that it was amazing. It did feel like a truly once in a lifetime experience. So with what we said earlier when we first got on the ship and said, oh, like $35.
I would probably spend $35 to do it once. I'm glad we got to go for free.
I take back that thought. I think that it was absolutely worth it. I don't think you're going to have this experience anywhere else unless you are
rock climbing,
uniquely, hanging over a ship. Like, hopefully you're not usually in that circumstance.
Watch the Royal Caribbean app. Actually, I like the website for buying excursions. Sometimes they put stuff like this on sale, and that's like, we've done the, I forget what it's called, the thing when you go up in Alaska in the ball. We've gotten that as cheap as $10 for a sea day, where it's a lot more expensive.
I felt very safe as far as the crew is incredible, really makes you feel good. We had a little bit of like some drops of rain. They did not allow us to go on to it until, they were checking it with meters.
Yeah.
Like, the entire safety staff was out there first. So I felt very safe doing something very exciting.
So tonight we are at Pier 7, thanks to Star of the Seas and the Love and Marriage game. We won the opportunity to be here tonight. And so we're going to thoroughly enjoy this place. I was trying to think of like, what is the cuisine here? California, they're saying there's definitely some South Korea influence. We're going to be having some kimchi elements to what we're eating tonight, some Buddha bowl type things, some ahi tuna. So I'm very much looking forward to this kind of, California vibe.
So obviously we've never been here before because this is on Star of the Seas. But just to let you know the way this works, because we did not buy the unlimited dining package like we normally do, you can buy everything here a la carte, or the regular price is $25, which I do not think is bad at all. And for that, you get 3 choices. So you can get like 3 entrees, you can get 3 appetizers, you can get an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert, however you want to mix it up. For us, we don't eat dessert, so I got for myself 2 entrees, and then I also got 2 appetizers and then an entree, and then Rachel got 1 appetizer and 2 entrees. So this is my appetizer. It is the lettuce wrap. So it's like chicken and then a bunch of other stuff mixed in, obviously over the top of lettuce. Some jalapenos, there's some peanuts over here, some sauce on the side. I love the fact they put that on the side. And then this is the whipped ricotta, and we'll just scrape that and eat that. I love ricotta, and I love it with tomatoes. Now this is my other appetizer. This is a Buddha bowl, and so it has some avocado, some carrots, some chicken. There's some jasmine rice in the middle, some edamame, some red cabbage. Forgot some of the other stuff that's in here. Looks delicious though. What did you think of that ricotta?
It was amazing. It was so soft and creamy.
It's almost like a dessert.
It was delicious. And then now I have a steak salad. So excited to try that. Oh, perfect.
For my entree, I got a California burger. It came with fries, which I did not realize. I probably would have asked them if we could have subbed that for something else, but I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm on a cruise, which means I can go to Windjammer if I'm still hungry. So it's a California burger with egg, cheese, bacon, some pickles, and I think there's some jalapenos in there. And then Rachel got 2 entrees.
I did. So I got the ahi tuna because you know how I love tuna. And then I got this. It's like a little bibimbap bowl over cauliflower rice. So I'm really excited to have this. And there is a fried egg on top. So we have managed to go through this entire cruise without stepping into main dining room. So since this is the last evening of the cruise, we thought we'd like to just come in and look around. And boy, is it amazing. I mean, look at how absolutely gorgeous. Now, this is a 3-story main dining room. And usually there's a central lighting fixture that kind of ties all of the floors together. And this is gorgeous. Definitely, like, you can see the pearls, and there's a very much an underwater theme to this entire ship, and just the pearls and the details it's just gorgeous.
What's wrong?
This parking lot is a very sad sight
Why?
because I know our car is here and we have to go home.
The cruise is over.
I'm so sad. Well, there's one more breakfast. So
Yeah,
then
but
over.
Our cruise is over. We're trying to figure out, do we have enough money on our credit card to stay on board. I wonder if there's any cabins not. I'll even take an interior cabin.
I'm starting to contemplate like part of the crew, part of the ship, part of the crew. Like maybe if we join the crew, we could stay. It was awesome.
So let's real quick sum up our experience on Star of the Seas. I'll start, and I'm going to tell you this is by far my favorite ship. If you ask me my order of top 3 ships, Star of the Seas, Utopia of the Seas, Freedom of the Seas. Those are my top favorite. And also, you know, like one from each class, but those are, I like Freedom of the Seas out of all the Freedom classes. And I liked like the small intimate nature, but a lot of good shows and things like that. Utopia of the Seas is by far our favorite, or at least my favorite Oasis class. And then Star of the Seas is the only Icon class we've been on, but it's going to be hard to top this ship.
It was incredible.
Yeah, and if I had, I'll give you a couple of cons. I think we gave you all the pros, but I'm going to give you a couple of cons that I would say. My biggest con is going to be the adult areas for the pool. I miss the solarium with the covered pool.
Okay.
And then the shade. I like having the shade. I don't like the hideaway completely out in the sun. Like I want to sit, like even when we were in the pool, like Rachel's in the sun and I'm a little bit in the shade. I miss that, and it's a small area for adults. So I do recommend, if you want adults only, go to Swim and Tonic. Along with the pools, I think they closed too many pools too early.
I agree with that. Now, I don't miss the enclosure solarium unless there's bad weather.
Yeah.
I liked it being more open because you didn't smell like all the pool chemicals like you do when you're kind of locked in the solarium. But I do agree that they just need to hang a couple more of those like metal palm frond looking things that provide shade over the pools. And that way, if you're somebody like Joe that wants a little bit more shade, you can get it. I do agree with you though that they close too much too early.
Keep Swim and Tonic open later. If you're only going to have that little adult only section, keep Swim and Tonic open later.
I would agree.
Because the side pools get closed. And the one thing, and this may offend people, but parents, if you have a toddler or younger that is not potty trained, follow the rules and keep them out of the pool. Because several times the pools and the hot tubs had to get closed because somebody disobeyed the rule. I mean, we went one night and someone had like a less than 1-year-old in the hot tub, which number one is not
even
safe for the baby. But the problem is the baby goes poop and now they have to shut down the pool and it's shut down for the day.
Right.
So I love children, you love children, but there's rules. There are places for you to take your kids to go in the pool. And so keep them out of the adult pools. If the sign says no unpotty trained kids, there shouldn't be unpotty trained kids in the pool.
Since we're doing a PSA, let's do a PSA about when you go into the elevator, making sure that for every person in your party, you are selecting a floor that you want to go on. That way, the elevator knows exactly how many people are in the elevator.
People don't know that. So you also have this on Carnival, but like, so you have on Utopia of the Seas, Icon of the Seas, this one, I don't think it's on Wonder. If I don't remember, we haven't been on Wonder. But where you have the option of you just press what floor you're going to go to and it gives you the elevator. By the way, the elevators were great. Like a lot of elevators.
Never waited for anything.
Had to wait when we wanted to ride an elevator from the bottom to the top. But you have to select the floor you want to go to. And then if you have, say, 4 people in your party, you have to hit the little X button and then select it again. This way, the elevator knows, hey, we have 14 people going to this floor. If you have 4 people in your party and you only press it one time, that's where you get the overcrowding. And all of a sudden, you've got 20 people standing in an elevator. And then when it comes, people are rushing on and somebody can't fit. It's because the elevator didn't know how many people were actually going to get on. So just make sure you're doing that. It's probably not as big of a deal when you only have 2 people, except for you've got to counteract the fact that somebody with 5 didn't know to do that.
Well, and if I am on a mobility scooter, I would probably push the button at least 2 times just to reserve that much space of like how much, 2 people, because it's a long, motorized cart, so that you don't feel like you're crammed, or running somebody over.
Those are pretty much my only cons.
Same.
Other things I've seen in the Facebook group, just to kind of answer, loungers, there are so many of them. I've seen a
Everywhere.
lot of people asking, is it worth it to get a casita? This is not even a me being cheap and Rachel being cheap.
I don't think it's worth it.
I'm going to tell you it's not worth it. You're going to pay a few $100s to a couple of $1,000s for that casita. And yeah, maybe you get some water, you get some shade. I think a couple of them, you even get a bottle of champagne. But one of the biggest reasons to do it is to make sure that you have a seat. There is plenty of seats. There was never a time. We would go at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and still find loungers by the pool. And if you want to be in the shade, there's tons of them. Take that money and go buy yourself an alcohol package.
Sure.
Buy yourself a bottle of champagne.
A souvenir.
Buy yourself some souvenirs. I would just spend the money somewhere else. I don't think it's worth it.
I think the only day that the pool was crowded at all was the last day of sailing, because people just had this attitude of like, I need to soak up like every single ounce of fun. And that was the only day where I saw there would be any crowding at all. The rest of the cruise, the other, 6 days, were totally, there was plenty of room for everybody.
So I'm going to tell you, if you can afford it, if you can find an inexpensive sailing, sometimes there's different ones, like little early slots. Hit me up in the comments section, 2kktravel@gmail.com. Sometimes I'll see specials like, well, they'll send me a thing like, hey, in 2 months we've got some here. Sometimes I can book into some groups that have opened it up for everyone. I highly recommend getting yourself on Star of the Seas. You're not going to be sorry. You're going to walk off going, I didn't get to see everything, because there is so much to do. Now, if you like seeing videos like this, do us a favor, please take a look at the video we have linked right over here. Also, make sure you take a look at the most recent video. They're going to put right over there.
But whether you head this way or you head this way, don't forget to head this way. Subscribe to our channel and click the little bell icon, and that way, every single time we go on the Star, you'll be alerted to it.
Happy sailing.